Vetting your sources, a real games journalism lesson. Re-upload from failed ex-Kotaku journalist Alyssa Mercante telling everyone else how to be a successful journalist, allegedly. The importance of vetting sources.
What's really interesting about all of this is a lot of these people who have in the last year or so kind of cropped up as new purveyors of truth. And in some cases, people who, like Asmongold in that video, want people like myself or others.
The audio is really low, isn't it? Let me turn it up.
That they deem to be ruining the industry, to be held accountable or, made an example of. They're propping themselves up as the place that you need to go in order to be getting news, that you need to trust them.
Yes, that is how it works. Would you prefer, hold on, would you prefer people not do that? Like, hey guys, don't come to me for news. I'm just a dude in a sex shack. I don't actually know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't come here. Go to Tentpole Media Establishment. They will have your best interest in mind. They won't fail you. So don't come here. Is that what she is expecting people to say? Help me here.
Because you can't trust us. The absence of a strong, unfettered, free press, not concerned with money and keeping potential.
What is even happening right now? She's just jump skipping and cutting through things. None of this even makes sense. And of course, we're 40 seconds in and already referencing money, but of course.
Potential advertisers happy in that absence. And while those things are summarily being broken down, and the people that do that work are being, are losing their jobs or being replaced by AI or being pushed off the internet by.
So the natural course of evolution is happening. The audience is speaking and is telling you, hey, we want YouTubers. We want to watch them. We don't trust you anymore. We've given you the chance and you've lost our trust.
Reactionaries and harassers. In the absence of that,
it's always someone else's fault.
Get people like whoever this person is, who now, made a post that then Asmongold took at face value and believed.
Solioneth says, Asmongold hits the nail on the head about woke journalists. I want these people to suffer because that's what they did to me. What goes around comes around, and we're coming. You should have just left my video games alone. That is such amazing based Dom DeMarco. Like, every time I see this clip, I'm just like, yeah, like it speaks to me on a spiritual level. It's so true.
Believed was real, right? You get that. Okay. And you also get someone like this. This is a Jeff Tarzia.
So here's the thing, by the way, she's crying about me harassing her and how I am a private citizen that has a YouTube channel. But I put myself out there as Smash JT. She chooses to continue using my full name and doxing my real address out there in a lawsuit, and now continuing to talk about me what feels like every single day, every chance she gets. And what's her excuse for it? Oh, she just wants to cover the video game industry. And I guess that's me now. Anyways.
This is somebody who has been sort of considering himself the new bastion for truth in the modern games journalism landscape.
Give it to me.
And
give it to me, Alyssa.
He tweeted that he had a groundbreaking Assassin's Creed Shadows story that he needed to clear his desk for in order to report on it.
So this is crazy to me because she is now 3 steps removed from what this post is to show how she's keeping tabs on everything that I do, every move that I make. She actually recapped that perfectly to the point of I'm like, I thought you blocked me and don't pay attention to me. This is kind of weird that you have all this information on me, but whatever. It is what it is. I guess you're just doing your DD. But yes, I did get this source that I felt was true after vetting it briefly. In hindsight, I should have taken more time. I should have followed up for asking for more information. And I should have tried to do better, whatever better fucking means. But as I've said multiple times, no matter what I did, I am of the opinion that McDizzle would have continued down the path to continue to try to fool me and just to see a social experiment, to see what it took, what the trigger was to get me to pull the trigger to make the video and the article. Even though I do not believe McDizzle when he's like, oh, if he just emailed me back asking for more info, I would have told him, hey, yeah, you got me, bro. Like, no. That's not how this works. You are starting from a disingenuous standpoint. You're a liar. You're stealing someone's identity. And then you're trying to take the angle of, oh, but I'd be totally trustworthy if you asked me for more information after that. Come on. I got a bridge to sell you. Anyways.
Now, if you don't already know, Assassin's Creed Shadows has kind of become the central focus for a lot of bad actors, mostly because there is a black dude in it, and
there is a black dude in it. There is a black dude in it.
It's now become, one.
Like, I don't even need to add any commentary. It's just like, just listen.
The major sites of the culture war. Somebody who is hoping to find even more proof that the game that they have deemed woke and bad is even more bad would jump at the opportunity to report on something like this.
She's not wrong, by the way. I believe it or not, I'll agree with her. Like, yes, it confirmed my bias, and that's what tricked me, where I'm like, yep, this was a story that I heard rumored. I've been a trustworthy source for insiders to contact. All the puzzle pieces fit together perfectly. And that was my only hesitation, is while I was putting this together, I let my excitement for the story overtake the logic of this is too convenient. But that's like a lesson that I will try to be better with.
Now, before I even get to this, I want to show you something that is related but not related, just to give you guys a frame of reference for what you have to do as a reporter. A couple of stories that I've done.
There we go. This is what we have to do, guys. Let's take some notes. Make sure you get your notebooks out from the failed ex-Kotaku journalist from the laughing stock of the gaming industry. They're going to teach you how to be a journalist here.
Done within the last 2 years.
Like, imagine, by the way, having the mentality of, I'm going to make a video or a live stream and tell this person why I'm better than him after you've lost your job, don't have money, and are getting, by all I've seen you post, evicted or pushed out of your place to live. But you're going to tell everyone else how to do things the right way. All right. And you're totally trustworthy and fully ethical. And you haven't shown to bend your ethics at all over the years, Alyssa, right?
Years that were heavily reported pieces. Now, breaking news is a little different, but you are never going to break news without corroboration from a studio or a person, without making it very clear in the headline.
I was reading the comment, McDizzle, he's my friend. I found Airbags Discord through him and introduced more to a lot of this. So just so you guys know, like there's an entire, as Alyssa always puts it, like the dark corners of the internet. That's where they are, and she pretends like that's where the light is. So just remember that.
In the opening line, in the deck, in the subhead, and throughout the piece, that this is a rumor, and that you're not certain if it's true or not. It's gaining traction here. Here's why it might be true, XYZ.
Right. So again, either Alyssa didn't watch my video, which I definitely don't believe, or did and is knowingly misrepresenting what I said in the video, because we can let me pull up my video real quick here, because believe it or not, it's right here. It's my channel. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Give me a second to bring it up and listen to what I say and tell me if I don't like. Could I have been more forthcoming with asking the audience to be more skeptical? Yes, I could have. I absolutely could have. Contacted by an insider at Ubisoft with exclusive news breaking on Smash JT once again that Assassin's Creed Shadow. So again, I'm really being cocky right now, and I need to learn not to be like that. I was just like, I was feeling it, man. I'm like, here we go again. Another insider contacted me. This is like literally the 9th or 10th insider. I'm like, I guess I'm that guy. I just let it go to my head. That was a learning experience for me. Is getting another delay, and the delay that it's getting is going to be for a couple more months. If my insider, what was that word? I just hold on, Smash. What did you just say, Smash? Let's make sure we listen really closely. Hold on. Find a banger today with someone who works at Ubisoft reaching out to me to share some insanely damning info regarding the troubled and very well documented development cycle of everyone's favorite game to clown. Reaching out AT, and I was scrolling through my email trying to get through everything, and holy crap, did I find a banger today with someone who works at Ubisoft, and the delay that it's getting is going to be for a couple more months. If my insider is to be believed. If my insider is to be believed. That was 20 seconds. That I actually started saying it at about 17 seconds into the video. Like, is it a catch-all? I'm good now because I said that? No, but at least I set the stage with this is, take it as a rumor. Infer from that this is a rumor, if this is to be believed. I don't know what more you could say unless you want me to take 3 minutes of a video to say, guys, if this is to be believed, it is a rumor. Allegedly, somebody contacted me. I have verified their name and their position as best I could and ran with this as fast as I could, because the news, if it is true, will be coming out next week. So I didn't want to sit on it. I don't know what else to say to be more transparent about it. Now, people would say, oh, he got you. You're a liar. You're a fake. It's like, well, I guess, but I literally told you exactly the situation. So I don't understand what more I could have done here. But anyways, what does Alyssa have to say about it?
That's why Kotaku rumor stories usually have rumor in brackets. This is a little different because there's this.
That's why Kotaku rumor stories. What was that word you used right before it? Usually have the word rumor in it. Okay, so with that qualifier, all she's saying is I needed to add rumor to the title. But then she goes into all this other stuff. Apparently that's not that. So which one is it? Is it rules for thee, not for me? Like Kotaku only needs to put rumor in the title, but for a YouTuber, they have different rules.
Speed to it, but there's still a lot of things that you should be doing to ensure that you just don't publish the most insane, unfounded rumor ever, because that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Okay, I completely agree with her again, by the way. I would not just run an insane, unfounded rumor, because that could get me in a lot of trouble. 100% agree with that. Again, right now she's comparing apples to oranges, though, because this is not an insane, unfounded rumor. This is a rumor that's been rumored that is now rumored to be confirmed by a quote unquote insider, which is very different. Again, we keep talking about the nuance that's required when looking at things that happen. And what we're seeing right now is the dichotomy in the community, where we're seeing people that just don't like me, that are excited to have finally a reason to latch on to not like me. Because before this, they didn't have anything. And now they're like, oh, yes, we got a reason to hate this guy now. Because Amico was getting really old. Amico was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. That doesn't hold any water. We need to find another thing on this guy to hang on to hate on him. So it's like they latch on to the idea that this is a much bigger situation than it really was, when ultimately it was a screw up on my end. I'll agree with that. But if you look at the context overall, it's really not that big of a deal, but they're conflating it into something massive to the point of having a failed journalist, allegedly, go forward with a story talking about how to be a successful journalist, which the irony is not lost on me, Alyssa.
Especially if that rumor has to do with an individual person. That person can sue you for libel or defamation.
Okay, this doesn't have to do with the individual person. Now she's talking. This is something completely different. She's now conflating it into a completely different situation to make it sound worse than it is. This is just confirming a rumor that was started previously.
If it has to do with a studio that's particularly litigious, you have to be really careful. So news breaks are a little different, but for reported pieces that include,
Alyssa, I know you're watching. You got to remember, don't keep pounding the table while you're talking. Don't keep doing this to make a point, because the mic picks up on that and it's really annoying to the listener. So don't pound the table while you're talking. Free advice. I got a whole lot more for you.
A variety of kinds of approaches here, right? A variety of kinds of stories in terms of intensity, severity, and what they're about. I wrote a piece in 2023 about how video game conventions and comic book conventions are still hotbeds for.
Okay, so this is tabloid. What's the word? Tabloid gossip. This is not a news story. This is tabloid. This is one of those things you see at the checkout of a grocery store. Video game conventions are still hotbeds of sexualized abuse. And then in smaller writing underneath it, what's that first word? Allegations. Allegations. Coming from the same woman that has a lot of allegations against me that I know are false. That means that word, you conflate things. So you are not trustworthy. I know this personally because of what you've done to me. So go ahead. Slay, queen, slay.
Sexualized assault. This was after somebody was allegedly drugged at a GDC after party.
These people are walking HR nightmares. All of them. All of them. Could this stuff have happened? Sure. There's a lot of really fucked up people in the industry. But it doesn't just mean it's the dudes that are fucked up too. As we've seen with the original Gamergate, the chicks are pretty fucked up too. But for some reason, the women never take any accountability. It's always the dudes that are the problem. It's funny how that works.
And I wanted to just give you a sense of how much work goes into ensuring that this piece is properly reported, right? So there's 11 primary sources and 22 external links in this piece. It's about 2 months of research.
2 months of research. Yeah. Hey, boss, Carolyn Petit. Hey, yeah, you're going to need to pay me for 2 months because I put a lot of work into an article on Kotaku. Oh, great. She's going to talk about her sweet baby piece. This is going to be good. Here we go.
The Sweet Baby Ink piece, which was interesting because I wanted it to be a rather fast turnover because I saw how it was picking up speed.
Okay, so she cut some corner. Oh, that's a freeze frame for her. Holy crap. She cut a lot of corners, allegedly. And this is coming from someone who said 5 primary sources. Here's the thing, Alyssa. You could have 1 million primary sources, but if all 1 million of those sources are leaving out the actual reason for the problem, your sources are giving you a slanted, biased view of your article, and you're not getting the full picture. That's the problem. So saying you have these sources doesn't do a goddamn thing, like at all. It doesn't convey any kind of truth. It doesn't say anything more except for maybe the sources you were finding were to confirm your bias. And you found sources that were all in bed together saying, yeah, we all feel the same way about the situation. And I'm going to interview each one of those together and corroborate the story to make it sound even worse. But you forgot to interview the person on the other side that's like, yeah, all those people are crazy. And here's actually what really happened, which is exactly what transpired with your Sweet Baby Inc. story when you left out Cabrutus. You left out how Chris Kindred tried to get his Steam account taken down, which to this day you still do not acknowledge or talk about, which is just wild to me because you got to know. Like, you got to know what the problem is with this, right?
Online and in the dark corners of the internet. I would not
Dark
consider
corners,
myself a
airbags,
reporter
Discord,
on par
the
with
dark
somebody
corners.
like Ethan Gatch for Kotaku or Totillo, who breaks stories all the time. I am a feature and culture writer first.
You are unemployed and out of money, allegedly. You are nothing. But keep going. Keep telling people what you think you are in your dreams.
And I am a researcher as well, so I can lean.
Again, unemployed. I'm a researcher. Piranha Pout says, fix your leaky roof, Alyssa, in all caps.
Into doing some like very quick turnover reported pieces and breaking news, but my default is looking at a culture and writing about that.
So here's the thing, Alyssa. Your words don't mean anything. So telling people what you are doesn't actually make it true. That might have actually used to work. It doesn't work anymore. Now that people know who you are, just saying what you do doesn't make it true. Like, you need to actually do those things.
Sweet Baby Inc. piece, which was a pretty fast turnaround about this rumor that was spreading on the internet. I had 5 primary sources, 12 external links, and I spent some time in the SBI detected Discord. This is a report of a video game.
Wait, so she's not going to address the backlash again? Interesting.
Games are still pretty regressive in the way that they portray the Middle East, especially in the face of the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
Nobody cares, Alyssa. Go write some game guides. All right. People that play video games do not give a shit about the Middle East and Palestine and Gaza. No one gives a shit. Go talk to your buddy Hassan and Destiny about that. No one cares. Like, seriously. Unless there's a game coming out with the conflict and it's part of the game and it's interesting, nobody cares. And I'm pretty confident when I speak for everyone when I say that.
This was 5 primary sources. Emails to the Game Awards went unanswered because this was when the future class was demanding that they call for a ceasefire. 28 external links of supporting information regarding the problematic portrayal.
No, Kira, the Middle East stuff has been going on for centuries, not decades. And it will continue to go on for centuries after we leave this earth. It will never end there.
Of the Middle East and video games, and about 1.5 months
funded by the US.
This is just a frame of reference to put this into perspective for you. This is a prime example of what happens when somebody thinks that you can just up and replace journalists with content creators.
You can, when the journalists aren't doing their job, which is what the problem has been consistently for the better part of the last decade. The last good journalist in gaming died when he got the woke mind virus. His name was Jason Schreier, and he used to be at one time very good at what he did, but he's gone now.
What happened was this person, McDizzle, who is a content creator,
which I believe, by the way, if she's not going to disclose her own bias, I'll say it now. I believe she follows him and she retweets his stuff. And this is something to push her cause forward. So she's going to take the perspective of he's in the right and whoever is the other person is in the wrong, which happens to be me, which fits a narrative of she already doesn't like me. So the bias is really going to show through here. But she's going to think she's being some sort of impartial journalist again and what she would do. So let's hear what she has to say.
Sent an email at 9 a.m. to Jeff Tarzia saying, I am on contract with Ubisoft Montreal as a programmer until the end of March, working mainly on Assassin's Creed Hexe, which is the next game coming out, which has its problems with scope creep, but I also work closely with the Shadows team. I am contacting you regarding an upcoming and unannounced.
What's that comment on the side say? Why didn't you talk about Chris Kindred targeted Cabrunas Rambo first and tried to get his Steam account banned by launching a targeted harassment campaign in the SBI article, Alyssa, with 3 thinking faces?
Announced delay with Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is mainly due to complaints from cultural officials.
Now, I will, like, little spoiler here. She did address that comment, and it's hysterical. I'm going to assume she cut it out of this video because it made her look so dumb. And they got banned. I wouldn't be surprised.
Around the destruction of shrines, but also to patch numerous bugs. The delay should be announced in about a week, and it will probably be until May. Sharing this with you as the game is not in a ready state and disrespectful to Asian culture. Although I work with some good people, the team is a mess. My name is blank. If you want to confirm, but I do not want my name to anything to do with this, as I need to find a job after this contract is done, and I would be breaking NDA. Jeff allegedly emailed this person back saying, "Thank you so much for this information. I will keep it anonymous. Please let me know if there's anything I can ever assist with. All the best to you." Okay, let me give you an idea of what I would do if I got an email like this. I'm not a reporter on the level of Ethan Gad, so 100% off the top of the dome, right? In many instances where there are absences in my understanding, thank you for the follow, or in someone's understanding, that's why we work on. That's why it's better when there's a team of journalists.
We're just better than you. This sounds like what was that? Was it dodgeball? We're better than you. We have a team. You're just your own loser self in your shack.
Working at websites. Because if I got an email like this, the first thing I would...
She needs Daddy Corpo to pay her bills every 2 weeks. She can't survive on her own. She has to have a career that pays for her laziness, that pays for her falling down, that pays for her stumbles, because she thinks she can do no wrong, because she continues getting a paycheck when she had a job.
Do would be to bring it to someone like Ethan, and I would definitely bring it to Carolyn Pettit, who's the managing editor at Kotaku. Have like initial eyebrow raised at Proton Secure Mail.
Initial eyebrow raised with Proton Secure Mail. I'll be honest. I agree. I had an initial eyebrow raised with that, but then I was like, well, I've had 2 previous leakers use Proton Secure Mail to hide their identity. 2 previous leakers that were 100% spot on, confirmed to be working at the companies. So I'm like, people, by the way, the Captain Hindsights that keep trying to comment on the situation, everyone I've seen keeps going to that, oh, it's Proton Mail. He should have known right there that it was a fake. It's like, no, man, Proton Mail, that just means they're hiding who they are. They want to be anonymous. They don't want it to be traced back to them. It's like raising eyebrows because someone uses end-to-end encryption. Exactly. Kira says, Proton is a bit suspicious in my eyes, but it makes sense to why people would use that platform to keep hidden. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when I saw that, I'm like, that's one of those take it or leave it. Like, it could mean something, but might not mean anything. And based off of my past experience, it was fine. There were no issues with it.
So if they're telling me their name and they're sending me a Proton Mail, I would be like, that's weird. You could have just sent this to me from your private email. You're obviously concerned that if you sent it from Ubisoft email, if you suppose.
No, that's not true at all. I put myself in the shoes of a leaker. I would not use my personal email address to email a random YouTuber. I wouldn't want them to know what my personal... What happens if that YouTuber fucks up the story or gets in a fight with me after it, or something happens where it's like bad things come from it? It's like, I'd rather just stay completely anonymous, especially if all you're trying to do is get information out there, which, again, that's kind of why I go back to saying, when I made my video, I'm saying, if my insider is to be believed, I don't know how else to preface it for people. No one has an answer. They just want to tell you that you're wrong. They don't want to say how to do it right. They're just like, you're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, what do I do right? Just do better. What's better? Find more sources. How? Oh, well, that's why you're not good.
supposedly work for Ubisoft, that they would find out. So that's understandable. But you are saying your name. So there's an eyebrow raised there. You're a little bit confused about the saying the name and then sending the private email.
I don't necessarily disagree with her, but again, it's happened multiple times before for me and worked and been successful, which is unfortunate because from that perspective, if this is the very first time I ever had a leaker insider, I probably would have been like, yeah, that's probably fake. Like, honestly, I've been like, yeah, this doesn't check out. The problem is I've had multiple of these before in the past that seemed very, very similar. And I just got too comfortable. I'm like, yep, that's another one of them. Okay.
Second thing, you almost never get a leak or a tip in the first email. 9 times out of 10, this person wants to ensure their safety.
That is so false. I don't even know where to begin. That's how I know she's actually never gotten a leaker in email. Every single leaker email that I've gotten, every single time, starts the email off in the chain saying what the situation is. They're not like, hey, can I trust you? They don't have time for this shit. They're just like, hey, I watch your videos. I like your videos. I work here. This is the situation. This is my name. This is what I do. And this is the situation. And they give a very convincing story to at least give me some insight as to what they're dealing with. I think what she is saying right now, if I had to guess, is she's thinking, she's putting herself in the shoes of, if I were to get leaker emails, I bet that's what they would do. But it's not. Like, that's just not what they do. They don't do that.
That they're not outed, that they don't lose their
Exactly. It's movie logic. Like, she's like, yeah, this is what happens in the movies. It's like, yeah, but that's not what happens in real life.
job. So they'll probably reach out and you would say, hi, I am currently working at Ubisoft Montreal on contract, and I have some information that I think would be pertinent that you may want to report on. Could we perhaps set up a time to call?
To be fair, that has happened multiple times, but not every time. I've had 2 situations where I have internal leakers that wanted to do Discord calls with me. And I've done those calls, confirmed who they were. Both calls lasted well over an hour. Really good conversations with the people. They let me know exactly what's going on, and let me really get a vibe for just how bad it really was. And I'm very grateful for those calls to be able to at least use that to assist with my approach of the videos, to try to get across to you guys what it's actually like at the game company based off of what they told me. But that was two people in a line of probably 12 insider stuff that I've had, 12 different people from Firewalk Studios, BioWare, Obsidian, EA, what was the other one? Wizards of the Coast, Ubisoft. Like, I could go through the list of these. Like, there's a lot over the past 6 months, especially. Kira says we're at 9916. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate the support.
Be already a little bit weirded out that somebody would off the rip cold call this leak in an email. That's not the way that things have ever gone when I've gotten information from someone. I've gotten an email saying, hey, I saw you reported on this. I might have more information. Are you interested? Can you keep me anonymous? Then we say yes. I'd ask if they want me to send some questions over.
See, again, I'd agree with her if I'd never done this before. I'm taking the perspective of, they watch my channel, they watch my videos, and they can trust me based off of the way I've covered things in the past. And again, that's on me. I got too comfortable.
I'd ask if we wanted to talk if they wanted to talk on the phone, making sure that they feel safe and comfortable, and that they're ensured that I will not, leak their identity in any way, shape, or form. Getting an email.
Again, I wouldn't trust you, Alyssa. So yes, that's the way I would approach you. I feel like I have far more trust than you do. So I expect people to come to me knowing that I will not leak who they are. Like that is my promise to people. So I feel like almost like this situation kind of made me feel naked in a weird way, because I'm like, this is like a lot of really private stuff of what I handle behind the scenes that you guys don't see, that I don't want people to see. That's not what this is about. And we got this McDizzle guy being like, it was me, and here was the email, and it's all this. I'm like, bro, like this is like private shit. Like talk to me. Talk to me. Why do you need to go public with it? That's weird. That's weird. Like if it was really a gotcha, why wouldn't you DM me and be like, hey man, that was me, just so you know? That actually would have been a wild approach if McDizzle came to me and said that. I would have actually given him so much props for that. Been like, damn, this guy got me. This guy got me. But the way he went public with it, he was trying to use it as a way to grow his brand and his platform while being disingenuous and pretending it wasn't. Like, it's just a social experiment. I'm here to expose yellow journalism, but only for the people I don't like. And I'm not going to talk about the people I do like.
Off the rip with reportedly or allegedly sensitive information with somebody's name in there is so fucking fake.
It's not, though. Again, like, this kind of goes back to what Hypnotic was saying on Saturday Night Hypnosis, and he was so right. I feel like whether Alyssa knows this or not, subconsciously, her motive is to try to find a way to leak who these people were. And they're saying things like, no, that wouldn't happen, as a way to get me to be like, well, here's my proof. Here's the emails that I've gotten before. And they want that info to try to track it, to find out who it was. Like, literally, they want to weed these people out of the companies. That's their approach to this. So she's taking this disingenuous, that wouldn't happen. I'm like, what the hell, it doesn't. I've got it happening multiple 5, 6, 7 times to me where this has happened. And no, I'm not going to share those emails. So now people are left to question, oh, well, we can't trust him if he lied with McDizzle in that situation. So now everything's questionable with him. It's like, okay, I'm still not going to leak the emails I've gotten. So what's your next move? You just want people to hate me because of that? Oh, okay. I would rather people hate me than me leak information and identities of people that have reached out to me in similar fashions.
Then the fact that the email with the leak is literally word for word supporting one of the theories that you and people who are aligned with you have been suggesting, Sasibaka. Like, why are you so specific? Why are you emailing me this?
How is this like a main point? Why are you so specific? Why are you emailing me this? This supports the rumor that everyone's talking about? How are these red flags? What? What? Like, I'm gonna need some source as to why you've gotten to that conclusion, as to just because the story conveniently lines up with supporting the rumor that everyone's talking about, it no longer is a valid insider because reasons. Like, maybe this is someone coming forward to me after someone came forward to Endymion telling them that this is something that's on the table. This is someone coming to me saying, yeah, that thing that was reported that was on the table is happening. Oh, okay. Thank you. Like, what? Why would I think, no, this person's lying to me, but the other people talking to Endymion weren't? Like, the logic here makes no sense.
It would be like, can we get on the phone to talk? Unsure. I want to verify your identity, blah, 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 blah. It's the notion that somebody is emailing you something that is like perfectly supporting something that you've been suggesting and pushing would make me go, okay.
Again, I go back to, I agree with all her points that there's more I could have done, except for one of the points she just made, which is what kind of blows that all up, is this is a very minor thing in the grand scheme of leaks that I've gotten. and it supports a rumor that's already out there. If it was something that was a wild thing, that was a new thing, that wasn't a rumor, that no one heard about or nobody believed or expected, and it was a crazy, wild thing, then hell yeah, I would be like, we're going to need more information than just this. I'm going to need to see something. You need to send me a screenshot of your badge. You're going to need to send me some sort of something to prove, or a call on Discord, something. But this is such a nothing burger of a thing in the grand scheme that it's wild that they're trying to extrapolate that this is what I would do no matter what comes in. I would just run with any story no matter what. And that's what kind of irks me, because that's not what I do. This is a one-off situation for a minor thing. And they're like, oh, no, you can't trust him with anything because this is what he does with everything because he did it with this one thing, even though he was right with these 11 things or 12 things before that. Don't worry about those. He sucks. You can't trust him. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. They know that. They're being very disingenuous. They're trying their best to discredit me because they see me as a threat. And at the end of the day, that should be something that makes me feel a lot better and empowers me, because they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't see me as a threat. Think about that for a second.
That seems a little too convenient, doesn't it? Got this really hyper-specific email that's already weird and confusing. I would show it to my coworkers, and if I'm in the situation that
I don't have any coworkers. I could have sent it to some friends. I probably should have. That's actually what I should have done. Now that she says that. I don't have coworkers, but I have a lot of colleagues in the industry that I trust. I could have sent it to a lot of people. I'm not going to name names, but I know, and you guys already know who I would say, but I'm not going to say it because we already know they're watching. But there's a lot of people that I would send it to that I could trust them with my life, that they wouldn't steal it or run with it. But honestly, I looked at this and I don't need to waste their time with this. This is confirming a rumor. This is not a wild, again, going back to if it was a bigger thing, I would have done bigger things with it. Okay. Thank you, Kingdom of Heaven. I appreciate you.
I'm in now, where I don't currently have any coworkers, unless you count my cats and my boyfriend. I would reach out to some people that I respect in the industry and be like, have you heard this at all? Have you gotten any information from this? Do you recognize this person's name? Do a cursory Google search of them, of course. But I would.
Okay, so she didn't research or watch my video, or she's being disingenuous again, because that's what I did. I did a Google search of their name. I found them. I found their blog. I saw their position. It matched up with what the position said in multiple different places. I saw the stuff that they did at Ubisoft. I did a probably half an hour research of this person, finding out about them as much as I could, and been like, this all checks out. The email is very convenient, but everything else about this checks out with this guy. So, okay, I'm going to run with this.
Also, try and get this person on the phone. You can get more information out of them. Obviously, you can get more details about what's going on, because if somebody's,
again, if this was a situation that was not a timed event, that would be ideal. But here's the problem. This came to me on a Friday afternoon. I was busy on the weekend, and the email literally says that Ubisoft is going to announce it on Monday of the following week. So that being put out there, I'm like, well, I got two moves here. I can sit on this. Well, three moves, I guess. I can sit on this and do nothing. I can send it to someone else to take it for me. Or I can try to reply to the person and hope that they get back to me. And if in enough time where I'm able to still make the article, make the video, get everything out. And in time, by the way, on a Friday night with again, I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but this is reality. I have a wife, I have kids, I have a life outside of this, guys. And this came through. I had plans for the weekend with my family. So I could have sat on it, or I could have run with it. Those were the two situations. And I was like, you know what? This is convincing enough. I'm going to run with it. If it didn't have the time thing on it, if it didn't say, oh, they're going to announce this next week, then I would have been like, okay, I can put this off to next week. I'll email them back and I'll say, hey, can we talk? Can we find out? Can you send me some information? Can you do something? But the way, this is a very insidious thing that McDizzle did. He knew, he entrapped me with it. He was like, if I put a time frame on this, it's going to rush him to run the fake story. And that's what's really frustrating about it, because he was trying his best to make it as believable as possible to get me to fall for it. And like I said in my video, kudos to him. He got me. Like, that was good, everything he did. But it goes to show the lengths that he had to go to for me to fall for it. And the problem that I have with this is now that side is extrapolating the extremes he went to now you can't trust me with anything because this guy went to every single extreme possible to get me to fall for one little thing.
He said cultural officials about the destruction of shrines, I would be like, what cultural officials?
I don't need to even ask that because that's already out there. Like, if you have to ask that question, that means you don't even know what's happening right now.
Japanese cultural officials.
Yes. yes, Japanese. I don't know how else to tell you this, but yes, Japan has had a lot of issues with the game. So yes, who else would have a problem with the culture of the shrines in Japan? Why would a different country care about that?
Is someone complaining in Canada where the game is made?
Why would anybody in Canada give a shit? What kind of straw man is this? What is she doing right now?
What's going on here? Do you have any documentation of that? What meeting was this shared in? What kind of conversations were had? Not only do you want...
Notice how she keeps cutting, by the way, because she keeps fucking up what she's trying to say. So she has these splits in between what she's talking about to try to make her sound smarter than she really is.
To get some more answers out of them. But if this person is faking shit, it's going to be a lot harder for them to fake it in a phone call.
I agree. But that's like in a perfect world utopia. This came to me on a Friday afternoon. Like, I'm not making you guys saw I didn't make any videos on Saturday or Sunday. I had family stuff the whole time. People thought I quit YouTube. I'm like, bro, no, I had family stuff this weekend. That's literally why I pushed it out on Friday immediately, because I was worried this was going to come out by Ubisoft when I had a breaking story. I got excited.
And their story is going to collapse pretty quickly if they're lying. Let's say that this person seems like their story checks out.
Oh, did you see that, by the way?
For them to fake it in a phone call. And their story is going to collapse pretty quickly if they're lying.
Jeff did a Google and found his LinkedIn. He took the name from. Yeah, she doesn't care about this stuff. She doesn't care about what I did.
Let's say that this person seems like their story checks out. The next thing you do is ping Ubisoft, request for comment, and you wait. Tell them that.
I legit almost spit my wine up. Did she just say the next thing you do is contact Ubisoft? Alyssa, you are fucking retarded. Allegedly, in my humble opinion, you are fucking retarded. Oh, what? The next thing I would do is tattle on the person and call their officers at Ubisoft and say, hey, does this person work under you? I don't know what she said after that, but there's nothing you could say that will recover the situation. Is the next thing you do is contact Ubisoft.
That it's an urgent piece. You'd like the story up sooner rather than later. You're trying to run it. Give them a time frame. Realistically, you got to think, okay, if it's Ubisoft.
Okay, so she said next thing you do is contact Ubisoft and then doesn't reference that. What? Hold on. We need to listen to that without me cutting it. What does she even say? Hold on. Oh, I just muted it.
Seems like their story checks out. The next thing you do is ping Ubisoft, request for comment, and you wait. Tell them that it's an urgent piece.
Contact Ubisoft, request for comment. Yes, hi Ubisoft. I'm this no-name YouTuber that's been exposing companies and completely destroying them by telling people exactly what's actually happening on the inside. Do you have any comment on what I'm about to talk about and expose? That's going to go over really well. I'm sure they'd even give me the time of day, by the way. And if they did, I'd be laughed out of the room.
You'd like the story up sooner rather than later. You're trying to run it. Give them a time frame. Realistically, you got to think, okay, if it's Ubisoft Montreal and you're directly reaching out to Ubisoft Montreal, they're on East Coast time. I'm trying to write the story and pub it for end of day, maybe, or tomorrow morning. In a lot of cases, if it's sensitive and
All right, now keep in mind, Alyssa, I got this at around 1 p.m. on a Friday in California. So it's 4 p.m. East Coast time on a Friday. And you keep saying the next day. I'm pretty sure they don't work on Saturdays there or Sundays. So yeah, keep slaying though.
we're on the fence about it, we sit on it. Tell them what I was told. Ask if any of this is true. Not release.
Why would Ubisoft confirm that? Why would they say, yes, we're going to announce that next week? It is true. Why would they say that? What kind of loony thinks like this?
The name of the person who messaged me about this. And then I would also try and find other people who are working at Ubisoft Montreal and reach out to them and ask to verify if any of this is true. These are all of the steps that I would take before I even thought about reporting on it.
Okay, so I hate to be the guy that says this to you because it's going to make me sound really cocky. This is why you are unemployed. Okay? This is why. Now you can get mad at me all you want to listen and say, "Oh, well what you're doing is not the right way. You're cutting corners, you're rushing stuff, you're not doing it professionally." One of us is being successful right now and one of us is unemployed getting booted from their apartment complex. So you can try to tell me that what you do is the right way, and I can tell you what I'm doing is perfectly fine, except for I let one get through. Which one would you rather be right now, Alyssa? Which one would you rather be?
What somebody like Jeff Tarzia does, who believes
You can just say Smash JT, Alyssa. No one's forcing you to say my name. My channel name is called Smash JT. Just saying. Again, this is her thing where she just always says my full name. It's just curious.
believes that he is the sort of replacement for people like me or other folks that work in the video game industry.
Oh, man. That's a clip. That's a clip. Alyssa, you might be getting added to the intro with that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hold on. Let's listen to that again. Uninterrupted.
What somebody like Jeff Tarzia does, who believes that he is the sort of replacement for people like me or other folks that work in the video game industry.
You've been replaced, Alyssa. And it's not just me. But yes, I am one of the people that has replaced you. And you know what? I'm very cognizant, unlike you, that there are other people trying to replace me right now. There are people like McDizzle that are trying to destroy me to replace me and being very disingenuous with his audience, saying, "Oh, I'm just trying to weed out the yellow journalism. I don't really care about any of this. I'm just trying to ruin someone's business and then destroy their lives and everything. But don't worry, I'm just doing this for the good of my heart. Nothing personal."
Replied to the email with just this and immediately made a video about it. Exclusive Ubisoft Insider, Assassin's Creed.
And she sounds so jealous right now. She sounds so jealous.
Creed Shadow delayed again. It's Valentine's Day. It's like the middle of the day Valentine's Day. Like, go be with your wife. I've got to break this Ubisoft news. That's definitely real. Only way that
I can't with this person. I am so in her head. It's literally, I cannot fathom it. I can't believe this. Like, it is insane. That snort was that snort was incredible. Wow. It's Valentine's Day. Go be with your wife. Coming from someone who has failed relationships, failed being a mother multiple times, failed allegedly, according to her on X, failed everything when it comes to a family. I don't know if I'm going to start taking advice from you, Alyssa, on when I need to be with my wife and when I don't. I mean, I'm just going to say, maybe you should start taking advice from me, because one of us is doing life right and one of us is you. I'm not going to say which is which.
It's like middle of the day Valentine's Day. Like, go be with your wife. I've got to break this Ubisoft news. That's definitely real. Only way that he vetted this person was that
I can't believe she snorted like that. That's insane. That's insane. The witch snorted.
he looked up the name that is blocked out here on LinkedIn and confirmed the person worked for Ubisoft. That was it. He does think that saying take this with a grain of salt once in a video that's titled exclusive Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again.
Okay, so this is why, again, Alyssa, ironic you're trying to give me advice on how to handle this. I'm going to give you some free advice right now. This is why you fail at YouTube, because this is what you do to get eyeballs to watch your channel. And once you draw people in, you say the truth to them. Hey, here's the intel I got. You clicked on the thumbnail. I'm going to deliver that information. But make sure you take this with a grain of salt, because it could change, or it could be wrong, or it could be some psycho running a social experiment trying to fool me on things. But regardless of all those things, let's have some entertainment and talk about the situation. And she's like, nope, can't do that. Can't do that.
This is, again, nothing right here would say this is a rumor.
Alyssa, again, free tutorial for you here. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. I can tell you're new. It's not your first day here, but it sure as hell sounds like it is the way you're talking. Nothing here says rumor. How astute of you. Congratulations. Nothing does. It doesn't. Yeah, you're right. You got me. You got me. Hey, Will the fans, what's up? Never mind, I just had one of the greatest content ideas I've ever had. Let me guess. It has to do with the snort, and you got to put the snort in a song? Because I was already thinking that. Tell me if I'm on the right path with that one.
This is established as fact. And this is something that if you were saying exclusive Ubisoft insider, Jeff Keighley sucks toes, Jeff Keighley could sue you for defamation. Even if you went into the article and it said, take this with a grain of salt, it would still be presented in multiple platforms and shown as a headline of Jeff Keighley sucks toes.
Okay, so here's the thing, Alyssa. You're absolutely right. Jeff Keighley could sue me for that. You know what you could sue someone for? Literally anything. Again, this is her exposing in her mind. Suing someone equals you're right and you will win. Jeff Keighley could go right ahead and sue me for that. I don't think he would win. I don't think he would. Because the court would look at it like, hey, someone stole someone else's identity, went out of their way to fool this person. He was trying his best, and it was something that he thought he made the call, and it was wrong. It was a legitimate enough, believable enough story that was presented to him. He should not be the person at fault here. You know who should? The dude that stole identities, the dude that created the situation in the first place. That guy's the one that would be on the chopping block, not the person running the story, in my humble opinion. But Alyssa's like, oh, Jeff Keighley could sue him if he wanted to. I'm like, sure. Coming from the person that's suing me, that has literally, I don't want to say no chance, because God only knows what kind of courts are, a very, 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 very minuscule, tiny, tiny chance of winning anything at all. But you're so cocky and confident with suing equals winning. You can sue anybody for anything, which is actually one of the problems with this country. Because there are people that cannot get the financial support needed to fight their lawsuits against frivolous shit. It's actually why SLAPP was brought up in the first place. SLAPP started in California and then brought to New York as well. So I'm protected in California and in New York, no matter where you're suing me from. And that's something you need to be very cognizant of, allegedly. But anyways.
And you didn't put rumor anywhere on it. Like, that does not save you like saying in my opinion or take this with a grain of salt does not save you from these things.
Yes, it does.
Mick,
It does. Yeah. Because this can be viewed as just entertainment, information. I'm not saying this is definitely happening. I'm saying this is, as far as I understand the information that's been passed to me, I am just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Her thinking that I could be sued for that is insane to me. If that's the case, literally anybody's going to be sued every day on YouTube for stories that are run. That is insane to me that she's thinking like this.
Izzle wrote, none of this is reality, and I know this because I am the leaker. I did this to demonstrate the bad faith reporting in gaming news, especially around a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ethics in games journalism is important. Smash could have asked for proof. He could have messaged me on a different platform. He could have reached out to other sources, but he didn't. He did not verify any credentials, as he indicated. The only communication is attached. Anyone can send an email to info@smashjt.com, pretend to be anyone, and it becomes news. I'm not telling you to do that. This has been a trend, and I have more examples. In fact, his BioWare leaker.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to sue him and put his address in the lawsuit. I'm not telling you where his address is, but if you read through the lawsuit, you might find his address. All right, Alyssa.
Or reach out to me to say they were messing with him. Make your bag of money, but don't expect bad reporting not to be called out. A way to avoid that is to do a better job.
I don't know this individual, but I have personally verified who they are by the name that they gave me and the credentials that they showed. Okay, so that was trying to be used as like a gotcha. And people are like, oh my God, he lied. He lied. He said that he verified them and he didn't. And I'm like, okay, well, listen again. What did I say? What did I do? I verified by the name that was given and the position that was given. I looked it up, found him on LinkedIn, found the position, found his blog, found all this stuff about this person. I verified to the best of my ability that they were a real person. Now, if this is someone pulling my leg on it, that could happen. That's up to the audience to understand that that is a possibility. I told you right up, I don't know this person. I'm giving you all the full transparency. What more can I say? Everyone plays a armchair quarterback after something happens. Be like, oh, what an idiot. It's like, what would he do better? Well, something different than that. Well, what? Just not what he did. Well, what? Why can't anyone say it? It's really weird.
What credentials? My insider, who I don't know, who had...
What credentials? The position that was lied to me, stolen, and written on an email. That position, that credential, what he does. Isn't impersonation a crime, by the way? I thought it was, but it's probably why these people, these types, want to defund the police so that they can live in a state of anarchy.
It gave me credentials that I did not verify. I'd like to think that this matters, but again, and as I've said before and on other platforms, you know, in a just world.
EMS says, guarantee this game gets delayed past March 20th. That'd be great. That'd be great. I think the funniest part is if Ubisoft comes out with that news, no one's going to believe it anyways after what just happened. Oh, man. Hypnog says, this is the equivalent to people being fake detectives after a police shooting that requires a split-second thought process. They're like, well, I would have done X, Y, Z. Bitch, you're not a cop. Thank you. Thank you for having my back.
World, this would completely ruin this man's reputation to a point where he could no longer be considered a voice in this space that people should trust or listen to. And considering how quickly he's already moved on from this to continue tweeting about me, to brag about how much money he made on the show.
Oh, we got there it is. There it is. Hold on, Alyssa. I wasn't expecting. You caught me off guard.
Money, print money, cash, money,
well,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash,
money, well,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Now, I want to be very clear with everyone, and I've said this multiple times, and I'll keep saying it. I am not a journalist, nor do I claim to be one. This is a crown of journalism that the community keeps trying to put on my head. Again, I never claimed to be that. I am a YouTuber. I'm a guy that talks about gaming news and I break stories that I find interesting. Everyone in the industry is trying to say he's trying to be a journalist. No, I'm not. I'm not. You clip this, save this forever. This is the stance I've always had. I don't want to be like you guys. You guys are shit. You are the scum of the earth in this industry. I want nothing to do with that. I care about the games and the game industry in a better place. Whatever the fuck you guys are doing, I want nothing to do with that. Anyways, let's listen to this part one more time.
That people should trust or listen to. And considering how quickly
Hold on. That part.
I like to think that this matters. But again, and as I've said before and on other platforms, you know, in a just world, this would completely ruin this man's reputation to a
She wants nothing but to see my downfall because she knows I have replaced her. And she burns with that. She's like, no, that should be me, not him. What can we do to destroy him now? He's ruined me. We need to ruin him. This is what her brain thinks. This is not actually what happened. This is what her brain keeps telling her.
point where he could no longer be considered a voice in this space. That
she hates that people listen more to me, a nobody. I am a nobody on the internet, and more people listen to me than her, who used to work at a one time, I know, I was there, Gandalf, long ago, where Kotaku was a respected outlet. Decades and decades ago, it was. She hates the fact that a nobody in their own house can destroy her at her own game. And I'd like to think there's a certain justice in that, where the best people are the ones that are propped up in this world. And maybe she should take a hint with that. Just saying. Not trying to sound cocky. It's literally the reality.
people should trust or listen to. And considering how quickly he's already moved on from this to continue tweeting about me, to brag about how much money he made on the stream where he talked about how bad he fucked up, I don't know if it makes much of a difference.
So I love the fact that she's noticed that. That's great. $1,800 on the night where I talked about how I fucked up. And that really gets at you, Alyssa, doesn't it? That really burns you. $1,800. $1,800 on a night when I should have been canceled, where I should have been ruined and people should have stopped coming to me. That's gotta really get to you. I'd be pretty pissed too. I mean, if I was insane,
in a just world where platforms like YouTube and Twitter would be ensuring that people understand that this person has a track record of obfuscation, of targeted harassment,
of reaction content. This comes from the same person that was initially trying to take down Melanie Mack, Asmongold, now me. You have a track record yourself of trying to take people down. Like, let's be honest here. But it's only okay if it happens to other people, right? Not you.
of saying slurs and hate speech. If that was clear,
Gonna need a source on that, because you just made an accusation at me that is something that I could take as you're trying to defame me. Alyssa, you can't just say things like that about people. That you can't do that, especially when you're in an active lawsuit with them. That's not a very smart thing to say.
clear from the jump, anytime anyone clicked on one of his videos, maybe that would make a difference. But these platforms are not doing their due diligence. If he were deplatformed, it wouldn't fix the larger issue. Maybe it wouldn't, but if we are deplatforming people who are spreading misinformation and promoting targeted harassment and saying slurs,
then you would not have a video camera on right now. You would not have a channel if we were deplatforming people that did the things you just mentioned. Funny how those rules apply to you, isn't it? Pumpkin Pie says targeted harassment only okay when they do it. Exactly.
if we're doing that to one person, then why can't we do it to everybody else? The drama is the content. So until we make it so that
she hates the fact that people watch me. Like, she's just like, just stop watching him. Just stop. oh, people won't stop watching him, then we need to deplatform him because people won't stop watching him. This is how they think. Like, she has done nothing but try to ruin my life from the day that I encountered her. She has been an awful scum of the earth, like piece of shit to me and my life. And the irony is she's trying to play the victim in all this. That blows my mind. Like, genuinely blows my mind.
Drama content is not profitable, this will continue to happen. I just hope that this can change some things. He just needs to be a modicum of a consequence for doing stuff like this because it's dangerous.
AKA in Alyssa's world, mistakes aren't allowed. You need to be completely eradicated from the earth if you make a minor fuck up. Like, you're just done. That's the only way to move forward, is just ruin this person, end them, because they're admitting they made a slight mistake. And in admitting that they made the slight mistake, they're also saying they're not really sure how they could have handled it better, but they're really sorry that it happened. But yeah, end them anyway. End them anyway.
You might sit here and say, well, it's just a rumor. And was it? Well, okay, sure. Reporting on a bad faith false rumor isn't dangerous, but when you are contributing to an already intense, vitriolic,
Look at the chat. Drop the lawsuit slur. It's fucking wild.
commentary around a game that is steeped in some of the most racist shit I have ever seen. And if you continue to,
Like, Alyssa literally reminds me of the activist we watched earlier that was walking with the sign about how much she hated Trump and couldn't explain why. It's like, these people, there needs to be like mental health checks on them. Like, I genuinely believe that. They, just listening to them, you can hear it in their voice that they're just not all there.
feed that beast. And part of that racism that I'm seeing is dehumanizing Black folks.
Does anyone else hear the irony in that? She literally said dehumanizing Black folks. Boiling down who they are to their skin color and then saying, I'm the one dehumanizing them. What the hell just happened right there? Black folks dash literally dehumanizing. Like, does she not hear herself? Uncle Gus says, oh yeah, Smash is so racist against blacks. These types of people, Alyssa, are some of the most racist people on the planet. And all they do is project that to other people to make themselves feel like they're not the racist people. It blows my mind. What she just said right now is insane. She just like casually said it like nothing. Oh my God. Oh man. Protopod says, that's right. Smash is so racist. I'm the DEI mod. Will the fan says they relied on redefining racism to be some nebulous system so they can actually be racist. Damn. That's a lot of truth in a very small comment. And yes.
We have already
Wait, I need to hear her say it again.
Feed that beast. And part of that racism that I'm seeing is dehumanized I have ever seen. And if you continue to, feed that beast, and part of that racism that I'm seeing is dehumanizing Black folks.
Dehumanizing Black folks. Do you think that she realizes like just how bad that is to say? That's the kind of thing that someone says, like, don't worry, my best friend is Black. I'm good. Or I have a Black friend, so I can say it, guys.
We have already seen with what happened with 8chan and how many shooter manifestos were posted on that site.
All right, we're making some fucking leaps right now. We're going from a very ever so slight mess up on my end with believing a person who stole an identity of someone and faked an email very well and put a very provable, believable story put forward in a timeline that I had to push forward if I was going to move forward with it, to talking about 8chan and shooter manifestos. Could someone bridge this gap for me? Because the bull has knocked me off. I need to get back on.
We've already, seen how dangerous it can be to continuously dehumanize somebody and continuously drum up anger and ire around.
That's what you keep doing to me, Alyssa. Listen to yourself. You just talked about how you want to deplatform me and remove my voice. You are dehumanizing me. Why does this only apply for you? What the fuck?
Around specific groups of people and specific topics.
Oh, that was gold. That was gold. Congratulations, Alyssa. Congratulations. I don't do this very often, but I got to. I'm sorry. It was that good. I got to give you a dislike. Let's see. Do we have any comments? No comments. 3 dislikes. Let's see. Refresh it. Up there we go. 14 dislikes, 7 likes. Comments are turned off. Oh, it's too much harassment. It's too much harassment because people were reacting to your retarded comments. Holy shit. I can't with this person. I can't.